All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media outside of Gillette Stadium, here to get you ready for Patriots 2025 training camp coming up next week. And we are here to take a look at players on this team with the most to prove. We just did the offense. Now we're going to do the defense. 4 guys to touch on here, 3 of which are new acquisitions, free agent signings, and then 1 is a returning player. We'll start with him. It's Kyle Duggar, safety. Been here for the last couple years. Second-round pick out of Lenore Ryan a couple seasons ago. Has been up and down, I would say. As Bill Belichick said at one point, him and Jabril Peppers were one of the best safety tandems in the NFL. Last year, a down year for pretty much everybody. What does Kyle Duggar have to do in 2025 to prove himself?
Yeah, it's important to mention that Kyle Duggar's coming off his 2nd down season, which, some circumstances outside of his control. We know he dealt with that ankle injury last season, that he suffered it in week 4, took some time off, then tried to fight through it, which is valiant, but it only exacerbated the injury in what was ultimately a lost season. But there's also been more mental errors than you'd like from someone who's been in the league as long as Kyle Duggar and who is known as such a high IQ player. So this is the year where, after getting the tag and then getting his big deal, he's got to earn it. And we didn't see him all spring. Maybe he starts on PUP and it's going to be a step behind, unfortunately, but we know he's a smart player. We know he's physical. And this is a deep safety room where you're hoping he can maybe get away from some of the free safety roles and play closer to the line of scrimmage, be that enforcer type guy that he is. And most importantly, the biggest job of a safety is not to allow big plays. And Kyle Duggar seemed like he had a target on his back last season, and even the year before that in some instances. So hopefully, again, the depth at the safety spot will keep him out of the positions where he's not really best, but also hopefully he's healthy so that he isn't put in spots where, guys are busting angles on him because he's not able to redirect as quickly. Right. And also hopefully this coaching staff is succinct enough and puts him in better spots where he doesn't have the mental mistakes we saw.
Patriots spent a ton of money in free agency this offseason. The biggest prize was Milton Williams, signing the biggest contract in Patriots history, passing Tom Brady. He's going to come in and man the defensive line. You do say he has a lot to prove, though. He didn't play a ton behind some of those guys in Philadelphia. Now he's going to come here and be one of the top, hopefully be one of the top playmakers. What does Milton Williams have to show you on defense?
One, he's got to prove that he can be that every down player, and he's adamant that that was not on him. He would have played more if he could, but when you have a defensive line like the Eagles, you want to preserve guys as much as possible. And also, we know that Milton Williams can be an elite pass rusher. That's not even really something new. It's just before last season, he wasn't given a ton of opportunities and was more of a run-defending player, and he was an elite run-defending player in his first couple years and then kind of fell off a cliff last year for whatever reason. But he's shown flashes of dominance against the run and against the pass. So if he's going to live up to this contract, he needs to be a consistent force on the defensive line, and he can't be somebody who, again, kind of like Duggar, the offense can't be able to put a target on his back and say, we are going to run at you. We're going to double team you consistently, whether it's the coaches allowing him to split gaps so he's not just having to kind of hold his ground against those guys or whatever it may be, and also the coaching that he's got now. Not that he was lacking for coaching on the Eagles by any means, but with Mike Vrabel, with Terrell Williams, I just think that he's going to have the mentorship, and also Christian Barmore, a guy who can push him to be his best, kind of like he had with Jalen Carter and all those studs on the Eagles. A lot was made about how Milton Williams now on the Patriots, he's going to be the focal point, what's going to happen now? He's not going to be the focal point. I think that's going to be Christian Barmore, and that's just going to give Milton Williams even more opportunities to be that kind of impact player. So you got to earn that big contract, big boy, and I think he does have the environment to do that.
CLNS Media is powered by Prizepicks, the best place to get in on the action, even throughout the summer. There is still baseball, there's women's basketball, and Taylor, we are right on the cusp of football season. There will be preseason games loaded up on Prizepicks, so if you want to get in on the action, head over to Prizepicks. Use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. Speaking of players complimenting Milton Williams on the defensive line, Harold Landry is another one there, someone who played under Mike Vrabel with the Tennessee Titans, was cut this offseason, signs with the Patriots again, clearly has familiarity in this system. What does he have to show you in 2025, and what does he have to prove as a now an aging veteran in the league?
Yeah, so when you think about Harold Landry, most people's minds immediately go to his horrendous pass rush win rate last season. It was the worst of his career by far. But when you actually look at the tape, you can see why. First of all, Harold Landry was still getting a lot of sacks. And when you look at the sacks, you're saying, all right, a lot of these are cleanup sacks. Who cares? But one, I think that the scheme the Titans ran last year just did not do him a lot of favors. It was a lot of mush rush and playing contain where he wasn't able to just kind of pin his ears back and use his explosiveness. And if you actually looked at next-gen stats, he had the fastest get-off that he's ever had in his career last season, which frankly did shock me. And he's saying that he feels better now than he ever has. He's on a defensive line group where he doesn't have to be the guy, but he's getting paid that way.
Right.
And I think the way he earns that is, one, I think a lot of that that's going to be kind of intangible. His ability to help show some of these other edge guys the standard as someone who has had success in this Mike Vrabel kind of system and working with Tayler Williams. I think, one, he's got to be an elite run defender. I think when you look at the numbers, he's excellent in that regard, something that doesn't get talked about a lot. He is the only proven every down kind of edge player in this group. So, one, you got to be a force on early downs. And when you are rushing the passer, the biggest thing is to be a complementary piece to Milton Williams, where Harold Landry doesn't have to be the guy. Let Milton Williams kind of get off the chain Christian Barr more and just be in attack mode, and have Harold Landry be that guy that doesn't let quarterbacks get out of the pocket. We know last year one of the biggest issues was contain. Now, they did get better, but there were still instances where it didn't look like guys were on the same page or they were blowing their assignments. Harold Landry, yes, you can say he has a lot of cleanup sacks, but you got to also see, is he helping someone else? Is he letting other guys kind of be more free, and then kind of being the guy that makes sure that things don't get out of hand when you try to get aggressive? So I still think he's a better pass rusher than he gets credit for, but even if he's not what he used to be, I still think that his consistency can get him back to being that kind of 9-10 sack guy.
And last but not least, another guy with ties to Tayler Williams' defensive system is Carlton Davis. He was in Detroit last season, where Tayler Williams was the defensive line coach. Now signs with the Patriots to be a bookend in the cornerback room to Christian Gonzalez. What does Carlton Davis have to show you in 2025 to be another impact player once again?
I got to see durability from Carlton Davis. That's really the biggest thing, because I think as the cornerback 2 opposite Christian Gonzalez, that is the perfect role for him. He's also a formidable run defender. People don't talk about that, and it's because cornerbacks don't get paid to play the run. But often you'll see, there's some other players that we've seen on the outside for the Patriots. Really, outside of Marcus Jones, there's not been a cornerback that really scares you or you really are considering when it comes to run defense. But Carlton Davis will put his nose in the fire, and he'll run up and try to get guys near the line of scrimmage. So I think that's going to be an impact that he's going to have people aren't really necessarily talking about. But if he's able to stay on the field, he's a great complement to Christian Gonzalez. Gonzo takes all the crazy athletes with all the speed. Yep. Carlton Davis takes those bigger bodies where he can use his crazy long reach and powerful hands to get those hands on guys and keep them from getting off the line cleanly, and also just smother guys, like stay in their grill. I don't like him going up against guys like Demario Douglas, and we've seen why. Right. Demario Douglas beat him 2 days in a row, I believe, during the spring, but Marcus Jones really is better for handling those kinds of guys. So it kind of gives you a basketball team. You got the enforcer in Carlton Davis, you got the all-star in Gonzo, and you got your quick, fast guy in Marcus Jones. So if Carlton Davis can be the complementary piece that, like I've said before, he cannot be the one that guys say, we're going to pick on you. Right. It has to be, all right, we're going to go up against the Patriots. It's going to be tough because none of these guys are going to make it easy on us. That's what I'm expecting from him.
A lot to prove on this Patriots team heading into 2025. We'll see if they can do it starting next week down at training camp. We'll be here every single day on Patriots Press Pass, so make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the channel.